I did want to start with some sports media news that broke last night and then got updated this morning. It concerns Fox's Big Noon Kickoff show, which they have developed to go head-to-head with ESPN's College Game Day. As you know, earlier this year, it was announced that Fox had hired Dave Portnoy, the founder and face of Barstool Sports, to be a part of their Big Noon Kickoff show, right? It was controversial, if only because Dave, whether you like him or you don't like him, and I understand people are in both of those camps, he is controversial, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody can acknowledge that. So it was a controversial decision, but it seemed to suggest at the time, hey, when you turn on Fox in advance of their, Big Noon football game, which this week happens to be Texas against Ohio State, the biggest game of the weekend and one of the biggest season openers in the history of college football.
Yes.
I mean, it just is.
It's about as good as it gets, yeah.
It is about as good as it gets. Mm-hmm. It's the number one team in the country, which also happens to be one of the biggest brands in the country, which also happens to be the reigning national champions. All right?
Yep.
So you got all that stuff. This is the way the NBA and the NFL, they design their schedules this way. In the NBA, you win the title, you're going to open the next season. So when we open the NBA season, this upcoming season, later on this year, it's going to originate, the first game we'll watch is going to originate from Oklahoma City, right? In the NFL, what are we doing? First game, Thursday night. A week from this Thursday, what are we doing?
Cowboys
at Eagles,
yeah.
Super Bowl champions, right? So they develop schedules, create schedules around this type of stuff. This was just something that was put on Ohio State's schedule, and then all the other stuff happened to fall into place. They are the reigning national champions. They are the number one team in the country, and they are one of the biggest brands in college athletics. So it almost wouldn't matter who they were playing. As long as it was another elite team, it would be the biggest game of the weekend, the first game since they won it all. They're playing Texas. Top 5 team.
Arch Manning.
Heisman Trophy favorite. And it would be big if they were just playing Texas, period. But they're playing Texas when Texas has a single-digit number next to its name. They're playing Texas when Texas has the Heisman Trophy favorite. And it would be big no matter what. But what if I told you the Heisman Trophy favorite also happens to be a Manning, grandson of Archie, nephew of Peyton and Eli? You really can't do it any better than this. I mean, reasonably speaking, this is as good as you could put together a season-opening big game. I really do believe it's in terms of we'll see what happens when the game starts, but in terms of anticipation leading into it, you can't do any better than this. Not reasonably speaking. Ohio State, Texas, this weekend, going to be great. So, huge game. Dave Portnoy, based on the announcement that we heard earlier this year, is going to be a part of the pregame show and a significant part of the pregame show.
Yeah.
And then last night, news breaks that he has been banned from Ohio State. Now, we should point out, if you don't know, Dave is a Michigan alum. And proudly. And he's not the type of alum that loves his school and just loves his school. His sort of approach on everything is, I love what I love, and anything in the way of that is something I hate. I don't want to oversimplify, but that's a reasonable explanation of how he approaches things, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
He loves
Caitlin
Michigan,
Clark.
So he
hates
loves
Angel Reese.
Perfect.
Yeah,
we can go down the list.
Right.
He loves Ohio State. So he hates Michigan.
There he loves Michigan, hates Ohio State.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yes.
He loves Michigan, so he hates Ohio State. He loves Taylor Swift, so he hates Kanye West. He loves Caitlin Clark, so he hates Angel Reese. And I know hate's a strong word, but it's probably the word he would use.
Yeah.
It's probably the word he would use.
Hate in a fun way.
I
hate in a fun way.
Yeah, but it seems since it comes from a real place, or at least he's consistent with it.
Yeah, I got it.
He's consistent with it. I love the University of Memphis, but I don't sit around hating the University of Cincinnati,
No, I never really hated them that much.
I think when I was young, there was a part of me.
Going, though.
I hated Denny Crum for a minute. I think I hated it, but then I grew out of that, right? I became an adult and I just grew out of that.
I still hate Louisville.
You can hate Louisville. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not telling you I'm what you should be. I'm telling you how I am. I love the Mets. I don't really hate the Braves. Like Greg Maddux is one of my favorite pitchers of all time. He ruined my childhood, but I still respect that he's amazing. So I don't carry around that trait. I have other awful traits, but I don't carry that one around. But Dave, like, he loves what he loves, and he hates anything that is an adversary to what he loves. So, in theory, what we were led to believe is that Fox was going to put him on the big pregame show. And, oh, wow, his debut is going to happen to come inside Ohio State Stadium in advance of the biggest game of the weekend and one of the biggest games of the opening weekends in the history of college football. So then news breaks last night that he's been banned from Ohio State. Oh, wow. And so I write a whole thing. Like, this is just PR nightmare. What are you doing? Self-inflicted wound. What are you doing? But by the time I wake up this morning, I believe Ross Dellinger from Yahoo Sports is reporting that he hasn't actually been banned from Ohio State Stadium. This is a Fox decision. But by the time I get here this morning, Dave Portnoy has jumped on social media and said, that's a lie. I have been banned from Ohio State, and they're petty, petty, petty. Bennett, what's the truth? Catch me up. What happened?
Oh, I actually think Portnoy's right here. I do.
Give me your version of what happened, and then I'll tell you what assume.
So Dellinger this morning said that basically Ross Bjork confirmed that Fox decided that Portnoy was not going to be on the main desk of Big Noon Kickoff for this game, and that those not on the desk normally don't appear on the field, right? For, before the game or whatever, and that these are Fox decisions, not Ohio State decisions. And then a few minutes ago, Portnoy puts out a video that's like, "I've been banned. Like, stop it." I actually believe him, because I think what happened here is this was something that was, because you can hear Portnoy says in the video, he was just going to kind of let it go before it became a thing, because this is a big deal for Barstool to be a part of Big Noon Kickoff. Like, they're going to try to, compete with College Game Day. Who knows if it works or not, but like, that's their idea. That's their
it's going
goal.
to work now.
He's trying to be a team player here. And so I think he was going to let it maybe go a little bit. And then this story just blew up. And now, and he sees that Ross Bjork's trying to do like the PR crisis management right now. And so he was like, no. Here's what happened. I've been banned. I'm not going to be on the show for this game because Ohio State doesn't want me to be on the show for this game. I actually believe him in this instance. I think this was something that they tried to make happen, under the table, and it's not going to be a story. It's not going to be a big deal. Then it is a story, and now it is a big deal.
Maybe. You might be right. I don't have any doubt that is what Dave believes. And you can tell that he believes he was banned because he has other Barstool people rallying around him. Like Big Cat tweeted about it last night. I do genuinely believe they are all operating under the understanding, accurate or not, that he was banned from Ohio State. You know what I bet the truth is? So, as is usually the case in stuff like this, somewhere in the middle. And here would be the middle. I bet you some semblance of what I'm about to say is probably true. Fox wants to hire Dave Portnoy because they think he can inject all the stuff they want into their pregame show and also bring eyeballs. Like, Barstool is a big deal, a needle mover. He's a needle mover. And Fox was like, if ESPN's going to do Pat McAfee, and he's sort of non-traditional, unconventional, then maybe we could do a different version of that. And our version, given that the Big Ten is our biggest property, and given that one of the guys who runs the biggest, trendiest sports media companies in the world is a Big Ten alum, we'll bring him in. Well, the difference between, say, Pat McAfee and Dave Portnoy, or Paul Feinbaum even and Dave Portnoy, is that those guys can be attached to shows. But when you think of Paul Feinbaum, even though he worked in Alabama, Tennessee grad, do you really attach him to any singular school? Or do you just think of Paul as like
just a college football guy,
SEC guy?
Yeah.
You just sort of, you don't really he doesn't, I love this and I hate this.
I agree with that.
That's not really his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even think McAfee is really I love this and I hate this. Like, do you even know where McAfee went to school? You might.
Where'd he go?
West Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
But like you're proving my point. Like he doesn't really attach himself. Like I love this, so I hate this. I'm a West Virginia alum, so screw Pitt. It's not really a thing. But with Dave, it's a thing. He loves what he loves, and he hates anything on the other side of that. We went through it. So I bet you what happens, or at least what I can easily imagine happening, is Fox wants to inject him into this show for all the obvious reasons. He's a needle mover. Whether you like him or not, he's that.
Mm-hmm.
You get some pushback from your league members, probably at Ohio State first and foremost. What are you doing? This guy is on social media every week, blasting us, mocking us. We are arguably your most important property. Why are you doing this? You're going to be originating a show from our campus often, including in week 1 for the biggest game of the year, one of the biggest season openers of all time. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? We're your reigning national champs.
Mm-hmm.
We're a good corporate partner with you, business partner with you. You're coming to our campus for week 1, and we can't wait for you to get there. But why are you doing this? All right? And then I bet you Michigan State said something similar.
Michigan, yeah.
No,
Michigan State. Yeah. I got you.
Purdue. I mean, I don't know, but I bet you it wasn't just Ohio State. I bet you this gets made into a conversation, if not done, for all intents and purposes, and then you get some internal like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And Ohio State's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're arguably the biggest brand in this league, and this league just hired a guy who shits on you nonstop. Why'd you do this? So you start to get a little bit of the pushback.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what Fox does? They say, hey, listen, calm down. It's not what you think. Yeah, we're going to bring him in to be a part of the show because we're trying to bury ESPN. Don't you want to bury ESPN? Put the other stuff aside. Don't you want to bury ESPN? Don't you want us? Don't you want to be the biggest thing? And then we got to get to be the biggest thing. This guy can help us do it. I know he doesn't like you, but people like him. And he can move this needle for us. We're going to pull an audience from there. But we're not going to put him like on the main desk. Like there's only so many chairs at that desk. That's like Urban sits there. We're not, you're former coach. That's who's on the main desk. It's not the Michigan guy. He's going to be a side set. We're using him to use him, but you've got it all wrong. He's not going to be what you think he's going to be in every segment of a multi-hour show on the main desk from inside the stadium. That's not what it is. Okay. That's the compromise. Yeah, we're going to use him, but not in the way you think, and it'll be fine. Calm down. Meantime, all we've ever read is that Dave Portnoy is coming to Fox and Barstool's coming to Fox. And I bet you these details that I'm saying to you right now, the details that are now being reported, I bet you they weren't clearly communicated to him in advance. These shows are massive shows. Like when I get an email that says, hey, GP, you're on the Final Four show, I don't reasonably assume that I'm going to be on the main desk at the Final Four with Charles Barkley and Adam Zucker and however we're doing that. I realize I'm going to be a part of the show, but I could be anywhere and often will be outside the stadium. I bet you there's just a communication breakdown here somewhere. And now it's blown up into this massive thing. And now Dave and Barstool can use it for exactly what they're great at using it for. And Fox will benefit from it. Because what are you going to do Saturday morning if you're at home in front of a TV? You're going to turn that on to see. When does he come in? What does he do? What does he say? It's a bigger deal now than it otherwise would be. And so if it actually is a thing where he's banned, that's just a mistake. Because you turned it into something that it doesn't need to be. But if it's just a communication breakdown and he can still frame it the way he wants to frame it, and then Fox and the Big Ten and Ohio State can frame it the way they want to frame it, and nobody ever actually gets to the actual truth, well then all parties involved get to deny responsibility if you're pointing a finger at them, but they then do benefit from it. Because this will be the show that, yeah, your college game day lovers, they'll turn that on. But there's going to be a lot of people now who turn this show on Saturday who otherwise wouldn't even know what's happening or care. But they'll turn it on. Why? Just to see what happens next.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m.